What is up, agents? We successfully made it back from New York, back here in DC. Things seem to be a bit under control here. So I will say before I get into this build that I've been playing my Sn-eeker build, the Stinger Hive Cluster Seeker Mines, for a long time now, and I've tried a bunch of other builds, but one just seemed to be the easiest to get through content with. And I've really been looking for a substitute, and I'm really stoked that this build came along. And I've been doing a lot of different variants of it and having a good time. I have to thank King Friend again for recommending me check out the sniper, because, dude, it's changed my gameplay a lot. So thanks, bro. And without further ado, let me get into this build. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll get into the specializations. There's two specializations you could run for this. You could run the Demolitionist. You would primarily run this to get the additional 10% increase explosive damage. You could do it if you wanted to run the artillery turret instead of the sniper turret, which is totally viable. In fact, some of the gameplay you'll see, I'm running with the team where the guys are running that variant, and it's highly effective. In fact, if you are even just two-man, one person running the artillery turret and the other the sniper, you could handle easily two-man heroic, and I haven't done legendary yet, but I assume that would be viable as well. Also, if you're on Demolitionist, your group members get the 5% damage to targets out of cover. What I recommend running, though, is the Technician. All the standard reasons why. First of all, Amped allows you to run 15% weapon damage as a core attribute if you want, or 170,000 armor as a core attribute as you want. I always elect for the armor, but choose what you will. The damage plus 12% to drones, skill proxies, and robotics is highly effective. As you guys know, a lot of the endgame content is dealing with enemy skills and robotics. Artificer Hive is not necessary for this. This is the primary reason I run it. Faraday Field, party members within 5 meters of your deployed and undisrupted skills are immune to shock and disruption. This is the #1 killer in the endgame content. You get shocked or disrupted. You either can't get your skills out and they flank you, or you get shocked, you stand up, and you get blasted down in a matter of seconds, if not within a second. And then, of course, the overclock CPU for the plus 10% skill damage. Next, I will go over the competing skills. We have the Sniper Turret with an 11.7 second cooldown, 300 second duration, 5.6 million health, a base damage of 2.9 million, 15 rounds per application of the skill, and the big one, in case you guys want to use this in PvP, 928,000 as the base damage. That's unbuffed in PvP. And just real quick to look on an overcharge, in case you get overcharged, the damage remains the same. You do get bonus sniper rounds, 3 bonus sniper rounds, a little bit more health, but here's the big one, the rate of fire doubles. And the mods I'm currently running is an 8.8 health. You could also go with an extra sniper round or longer duration if you wanted. Going with the 4.8 damage mod. This is, if you run Demolitionist, your artillery mortar, you could run the 10% damage on. And then a 6.7 skill haste right here. You could do duration if you wanted as well. And then its direct competition, our Cluster Seeker Mine, which has a 31.3 second cooldown, which, as you guys will see, that's never the case. 200,000 health, base damage of 2.9 million, 10 mines per application, The blast radius is 2 meters, and the PvP damage each mine has 522,000 base damage. And if we look at the overcharge, the damage gets a bonus 20% damage on top of it. We send 2 additional mines out for 12, and the radius goes to 4 meters. As far as the mods for the Seeker Mine, we're running a 4.5 damage mod. We got skill haste as well. A 4.8 damage mod. You could run with radius or skill haste. I obviously would not recommend running skill haste at all since we're running Hardwired. Just throw that out there. And I'm running with 1 additional mine. However, you could go with skill health. But the reality is the only dudes that really blow this up are the big dudes when they kick it. And that 6.6 health is not going to keep them from destroying it. So why not just have an extra mine? Alright, that is it for our skills. Alright, so next let's talk about weapons. I prefer to run an assault rifle with spike and the Surge high-end named rifle with perfect spike. I'm using this ACRE simply because it has the highest stats as well as rolling spike. You know, I mean, really, if you wanted to, you could also, you know, run yourself an LMG if you prefer LMGs. The problem with LMGs is I tend to suppress dudes, and it's really hard to get headshots when guys are suppressed, so I tend not to run the LMG. But again, another option you could have, you know, would be to simply run an actual damage perk. You know, a Ranger, Optimist, something like that, if you want to actually do damage. You could run something like the Pyromaniac, so in case dudes are on fire, you can do more weapon damage. You know, something like the Savage Wolverine, if you want to get up close and personal, you know. Run what you want, but I personally recommend just an AR. That way I can burst dudes, spray and pray to get a normal spike headshot. Or if I can actually take some time to aim a little bit. I'm not very good with rifles. You guys that are good, you'll whoop ass. I'll whip out the Surge and try to get the 25% bonus damage right there. So, and luckily, as you guys can see, I got a fairly decent roll on my Surge right here. The one other thing I would recommend with your offhand, your sidearm, I would recommend running a sawed-off of some sort. I got lucky with my backup boomstick. It rolled maximum shotgun damage, decent damage to armor, and crit hit chance on it. And so I was able to just roll preservation onto it. Killing an enemy repairs 10% of armor over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve repair amount by 10%. And the double barrel sawed-offs, they're 1-2 shot kills most of the time. And all it takes is one of the pellets to hit the head for it to count as a headshot kill and proc preservation. So it's fairly easy to use it. I don't actually use it a lot, but a few times that I have whipped it out to use it, it's been really easy to use. Alright, next we'll talk about the gear and brand sets. First I'll cover the 2 brand sets. So essentially, since we're running a 4-piece Hardwired, we're only allotted 1 exotic and 1 high-end or 2 high-end pieces. So I elected to not run with an exotic for this. I chose to go with a Wyvern chest piece for the plus 10% skill damage. And I went for a China Light gloves for the 15% explosive damage. And why I chose that is each one of these is the 1-piece gear set. So, and the other reason why I actually like it is simply because, as you can see, the 2.9 million. So I feel like this is just nice, well-rounded, and yeah, I just like symmetry. So what can I say? You can tell by my character and my attire, can't you? Now let's talk about the gear set, the Hardwired. So, as you can see, we're running 4 pieces. The 2-piece gives an additional 15% skill haste, which the 4-piece and the backpack talent basically negates anyway. It makes it unnecessary. The 3-piece is awesome for the plus 15% skill damage, or the plus 15% repair skill if you're running a medic build of some sort with this. But the big one comes in when you have the 4-piece. Feedback loop. When you use or cancel a skill, your other skill is automatically refreshed and increases total skill damage and repair by 10% for 20 seconds. This can occur at most once per 20 seconds. So we're running the mask, the holster, and the knee pads. Each of these you'll notice 10% skill damage innate, and then it has a mod slot, so I have 11.5 skill haste. This again, 10% skill damage, and the holster, 10% skill damage. Let's talk about the odd man out. We are using the backpack for the talent short circuit. Decrease feedback loop cooldown from 20 seconds to 10 seconds. So this means I can cancel or deploy either of my skills once every 10 seconds to refresh my other skill. And in the gameplay, you will see exactly what that does. It basically makes it so all the skill haste I'm squeezing on here is almost unnecessary. You'll see there's a few times when it really does help, but those times are very few and far between. So quickly we'll talk about what we are giving up by not running, or by running the hardwired backpack. We are giving up the chance of running perfect tech support, 25% skill damage, right? But you got to remember that we can get our skills out twice as often. So what's 25% versus 100%, right? Because you're talking about twice as many skills. So ultimately, this is a loss in DPS if we use this. We've got the Acostas. You could use the Acostas if you wanted to, and you could use your grenades to do overcharge. So this is another option that is definitely could be considered. And then let's see also what we're missing out by not choosing the hardwired chest piece. We're missing out on the talent positive reinforcement. Increases feedback loop skill damage and repair from 10% to 25%. So what that does is it adds 15% additive repair skill damage on top of everything else, which isn't bad, right? But when we consider, let's look at this one. Okay, well, let's say we had skill damage on there, 10% skill damage. Well, okay, that we get that on that, but we also get the 10% skill damage from WoNY here all the time. So that's 5% loss, but then we get to have a talent. With using the technician, as I was alluding to earlier, you can re-roll if you get a good rolled hardwire piece. Like this one has 6% skill damage, so I'm missing out on 4% skill damage if I use this piece, but I can squeeze in 170,000 armor. So just to show you guys real quick, 2.9, 2.9, and now if I just go ahead and switch this out, my armor goes from 674,000 to 848,000. So that's a significant, that's almost a 25% bonus to my armor right there. And check this out, my skills, this only goes to 2.844 and 2.846. So I lose almost no damage, and I gain 170,000 armor. So just wanted to point that out real quick. Up until, like I said, I can plow through this and force my way through, so I don't use this anymore. But up until the point where you don't feel squishy anymore, I highly recommend rolling one of your pieces into armor just to get that extra survivability in there. And if you do, of course, use the the 0S Badger Tough chest piece, right? Of course, you guys will, the core attribute is always armor, so that would take care of that right there. The most important factor of this build, and that really depends on how you're going to be running the build. The way that I look at it, there's 4 different approaches you could have. It's all based on the chest talents. I do recommend running WoNY for your chest piece due to the fact that it has the utility mod slot, so you can squeeze in that extra skill haste. But let's talk about the talents. First off, you got the max DPS talent, and that's to use glass cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 25%. All damage you take is amplified by 50%. So first off, this is truly a glass cannon because you take more damage. So this high risk, high reward. The good news is this 25% bonus damage is applied as the very final factor, the very final number. So after every other buff, you do 25% multiplicative damage. So this is a great perk if all you're trying to do is maximize your damage. So next, let's talk about kinetic momentum. Kinetic momentum removes the extra damage you take. It adds 15% bonus damage, so a little over half of what, about 60%, let's say, of what Glass Cannon does, but you don't take 50% damage. The downside is there is some wrap-up time. So let's read the perk. Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. One thing to realize is, so if my sniper is not on cooldown, I have it. It's building the kinetic momentum stacks. So if I have 10 seconds before I actually place my turret, it will already be max damage. So that is kind of cool. Yeah, so this is the safer way to stack damage. This is what I would refer to as a sustained DPS versus, say, a max DPS. Now, the next one next idea would be to use an Overwatch chess piece. This would be for group play. This would be most beneficial in higher level content with a group in Heroic or Legendary. After staying in cover for 10 seconds, increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 12% as long as you remain in cover or in a cover-to-cover move. And another thing to note about this is there's about a second, I think it's like a 1.2 second grace period, that if an explosion goes off and you get knocked out of cover and you take cover right away, or you get out of cover and then immediately get back in, you do not lose and have to ramp the damage back up. So it is fairly flexible in that regard. And this is an additional 12% weapon and skill damage that's added to everybody else onto whatever they have. So this is one of the most beneficial things you can do if playing in a group. And last is simply survivability. If you are having a hard time, if you're lower level but you're trying to do the higher level content, you're farming, something like that, you may just want to simply give up the 10% skill damage from Wyvern, throw on a 0 Fs, or you could even get a Wyvern chest piece roll with normal Unbreakable, because it still gives you 95% of your armor back, and the cooldown is a minute instead of 55 seconds. So not that much of a change. You can still squeeze in the 10% skill damage from the brand set, have 10% skill damage on the attributes, and because of the additional armor, it basically doubles your toughness. So this would be my last choice. I only go to this if for some reason everything else is failing. Then I'll go to Perfectly Unbreakable, but I really don't use this too much anymore. This build is so overpowered that I can basically force my way through straight up aggression through almost all content. So I want to take a moment to show you guys the different damage numbers from the different chest piece, just to show you what each is capable of. So first, we're going to go over the Glass Cannon. Alright. So you see we're on very hard here. So, first off, body shot, 3.4. Alright, so there we got the spike going, so body shot and spike. And so that was a shot with both the spike active as well as the hardwire bonus, which you see down at the bottom is the hardwire with the 2 arrows going up. So the one that's just the HW that you see currently, that means if, here, I'll do this. I'm going to blow this up. Okay, it's on cooldown, right? But I throw these out and watch. As soon as this goes, it instantly resets the turret, right? And now I get the bonus damage. Right, and now bam. So that was max damage right there. not including perfect spikes. So, okay. There we go. So the next down on the totem pole would be the kinetic momentum. So here's what we have to do. Check it out. Kinetic momentum is not activated. So what I have to do is do a little bit of damage to myself. Okay. Now we're activating. We're rolling. Wait till it gets full. So remember that 2.7 number. Alright, now we're full. Bam. Then throw that out. Wow. Alright, next we're going to go with the Overwatch. And alright, so that I'll get these all filled up. Okay, Overwatch is full. So the body shot. A bit hard to see those. 309. And the head. More head. Alright, so now, if we're full Overwatch, we get a nice little perfect spike. Body. Still on spike. There we go. Let's do spike in the head. Dude, come on. Dude, aim at the head, bro. Dude. Thank you. Oh, is there an elite patrol in here too? It's always awesome when it gets super crazy like this.
Where can we get the let's see, behind them
Oh yeah, dude. Come on, dude. Oh fuck. Any help in the back here? Ooh. Thank you, whoever got that fucking dude. Oh yeah, bitch. Alright, you're going down now. Oh yeah. One more? Maybe? No.
Rule him down there. Meet him at his own game.
An agent needs assistance.
Shit.
Rogue agent deceased.
Rose, are you getting a signal?
Not a damn thing.
Shit. He must have been holed up in here for a while. Find where he was hiding and search for clues.
Yeah, dude. What's up, guys? I just want to take a quick second to say thank you. I appreciate all the support I've been getting. If you guys feel like supporting my work, check out the subscribe star link down below. Lets me bring more content to you guys. You guys take it easy. Be safe out there. Agents, thanks a lot for checking this out. I'm really stoked on this build. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do some legendary content soon. and get that up for you guys to check out. If you guys have any comments, any questions, please go ahead and leave it down below. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. To my subscribers, thank you so much. I'm so stoked the channel's growing. And I will see you agents in the Dark Zone. Peace out, guys.